You're watching the CG Live podcast. Now, the content for these podcasts are a little bit different than our normal pods as we bring on members and do long-form interviews. These were actually recorded live at our events with members that were going on stage to present, so the content is killer. Enjoy the show. Welcome back into the live version of the Collective Genius podcast. We are coming to you live from the Westin Sarasota CG Select and CG Elevate event. Over 300 members. Presentations are going on right now. And I really want to be watching some of these presentations right now, but I can tell you, I've got my friend next to me, and there's no place I'd rather be than with my friend, Mr. Jesús Toledo. Welcome. We haven't had you on the podcast, so I had to come and grab you and get you on the pod, the live version of it. Welcome in, my friend.
Thank you, man. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
You said Leon time. I'll spend some time with Leon every day.
Guys, this will come across in this interview. This is one of my favorite human beings. Jeremiah and Tommy, I like them a lot. Don't tell them I said that. But this guy, I love this guy. Like, he and his partner, Felipe, are two of the best guys. And when we look at members, and when we're talking to real estate investors or service providers, there's just, you can just feel when you're having a consult with somebody, you just feel their heart if they're a go-giver or not. And he and his partner, Felipe, are just that. Why don't you start off by introducing so everyone can get to know you as well as I do?
Oh, wow, that's a tough.
Let's go take some time.
Well, quickly, my name is Jesús. I am from Miami. I was born in Chile, raised in Brazil, lived in Miami for the last 13 years. We started real estate investing in 2017. And in 2019, we built a secondary business, which is data and marketing provider for real estate investors. Since then, we've pivoted and grown, but today we primarily we predict who are the homeowners more likely to start a discount, and we help real estate investors get more deals from either cold call, SMS, direct mail. In that journey, we've been very fortunate to build great relationships and partnerships. We have a few sister companies that we're part of. We have a direct mail agency where we send mail for some of our existing data clients and even other people that are not getting data with us. It's called Force. We have a CRM as well, Salesforce CRM, very high level to help people build their systems and to run it the right way. And we also help people find talent from Latin America with 80/20 Recruit. It's one of our specialties, right? We have a team of a 35-ish team now at 80/20 REI alone, and we majority hire from South America with some key people from the U.S. So
this is what I love about real estate investing. A couple different things here. Number one, you started out as a real estate investor. There are roughly 35 what we call service providers, others may call vendors, in our community that offer a service. That service could be, in this particular case, data, hiring from Latin America, a CRM, but you didn't start out there. You started out at real estate investing. So I know that almost every service provider within this group, either a current real estate investor or started there. When did you know that that wasn't going to be your jam? Like, you needed to do something else?
Honestly, it wasn't even our idea. I naturally gravitated towards spending more time on data and the lead gen side of the business because that's what I like, the numbers, the data, and the things that I enjoy doing the most. And actually, it was Gary Harper, another member of CG, who went on our quarterly planning for the real estate business. And he said, "You guys are phenomenal at the data and the lead gen. I haven't seen this." And granted, he coached thousands of people at that time. And it was like, oh, that's interesting. So he came next meeting. He said, "You guys need to open a business about this. You have to put this out there and serve other people with this process that you guys are doing for data and lead gen." And that's how we started. He actually encouraged us. Yes, he encouraged us to start it.
It's interesting. Like, this is, I mean, there's so much that can unwind there. Specifically, that you had a business coach come in, and you probably had a good business at the time, but he saw something in your data that was unique and had the potential for greatness. Like, think about that. Like, a lot of people that are in this community, they're not just in the community at board of advisors, but they also have business coaches. And I can tell you, they're very smart to do that, because there's sometimes you're so in the weeds of the business, and it sounds like that's where you were.
Oh.
You're in the weeds of the business, and he said, data is the way that you should go. Now, give us a little bit of clarification on that for those that maybe they're a real estate investor and they've just used data that's been available to them. How is yours different? Like, I think of you guys as analytics in sports, right? You break down and predict with science. Instead of sending 50,000 shotgun approach, yours is more sniper approach. Is that a good comparison?
It's a great comparison. And I would add to that we're also very accustomed to the client, right? Like, there is a bunch of data providers out there, and you can get as little as, I don't know, maybe free. There's data free now.
Sure.
Nowadays, right? What we do is we understand your business. We go in, we analyze your leads, your appointments, your deals, your revenue, and we reverse engineer and find the 80-20. We find what is the 20% that was producing 80 or more of the results. And we train our models based on what we're seeing that's working for you. And that's very powerful, because it allows you to cut a lot of waste and get more deals from the things that really work for you. And when the time is right, we help you showing what are the opportunities that are happening in the market that you might be missing, that's out of our buy box. Maybe it's an opportunity to expand your buy box a little bit more. And that requires a lot of collaboration. We're not a service where you pay us a check and you get a list and we don't hear from you, or you don't hear from us. We're working together in continually improving the data so it's better suited for you and producing the better results.
Mm-hmm. So for those that are real estate investors, have been real estate investors for a long time, there, as always, and it may be a little bit less now, because most of the service providers out there have typically a social media following or something along those lines. But I remember, like it was yesterday, I've been on this side with Collective Genius for 7 years. I've been associated for 10 years. And I remember that there were this select few, like kind of the cream of the crop investor in CG, that this is crazy. I remember them saying, hey, don't tell anybody, but I got this new data provider in Miami that you can only share it with a few, because we're just trying them out, but I've heard the data is the best. And it was just like three or four, five in that range that were utilizing you. When did this take off for you? Because I know those high level investors, they don't just talk about people unless they're very high level. The data that they were buying was next level. How did that, did it catch fire because of that? How did it blow up for you?
Yeah, it's funny. I know who you're talking about, that, and it's crazy because we didn't want to go into the service route, right? It was kind of Gary opened that opportunity for us, and when we started offering to a very few select people, it was our second customer that brought us like the number one home buyer in one market. And we were super nervous.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know, like, this is the third, fifth client. Like, we had no clue if this is going to work, and it worked, right? And from then on, it was only word of mouth, right? It was the results, the reputation, and keeping our promises and doing our best to produce the best results. And it was a slow growth in the beginning. The first few years, as we were growing the business, we wanted to do it right. So we took time to do it. And it's only been 2 years since we actually started marketing, right? Like, it took us maybe 4 years to join CG, which was a big mistake, by the way. I should have joined way sooner. As a real estate investor, I would have learned more. And as a service provider, I would have grown faster and learned. Like, to this date, I'm in CG Select. I'm learning about my business, right? At every level of CG, you will learn not just about real estate, you will learn how to manage a business. Then we're very fortunate. Some of these super early clients were now they're number one buyers in their markets. They're buying 700 deals a year, and they're still our clients. And they made us like a good brand. They put us a good word for us and as a reputation. In the beginning, they were trying to keep it for themselves, because we were new. We didn't knew really like the exclusivity, a few things. Now we work with limited seats per market, and that gives them a little bit of ease, and they recommend us more people.
Well, you hit the market at the right time. That helped. You performed, especially for those that people, looked up to in the real estate investing business. I will say that to give perspective, there was really only one other company that was offering high-level predictive data for real estate investors. And to your point of exclusivity, a lot of us in certain markets were locked out because they had already had investors in those particular areas. And so there was never, I felt so bad because I'm a connector by nature. And someone would say, hey, Leon, I'm locked out of this other one. Who's the other person? I go, I don't have one. You hit at a time where it was almost, it's probably a little bit late, but it was also early because it was still before all of this data became available and more people looked at predictive information and analytics to go more rifle sniper approach versus shotgun. Not to say there's I'm not going to say one is better than the other, but when it comes to knowing who's most likely to sell, it's worth every penny to spend the extra money on the data. So you're not wasting.
Yeah.
You're trimming the fat and getting to the people that are most.
We were just talking to one of our clients we signed maybe 3-4 months ago. He just shook my hand and said, thank you, man. I just closed my first 6-figure deal.
Oh, man.
So that makes my day.
Of course. Of course
Right?
It does.
It's so beautiful because we're in this grind. Not a lot of times we get a chance to close a 6-figure deal.
Right.
It's not often.
Yeah.
In a highly competitive market, that's phenomenal to hear. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day is because the way that we approach it, you own every single parcel in your market. It's not a matter of if we will work. It's making sure that we follow the steps to make it work.
Yeah.
Because we have every single piece of information to make it available. A lot of the times is understanding what worked for you and customizing that to you is what works the best. And understanding that that's one of the things that set us apart maybe from most data providers is we're not just focused on giving you a list. We understand how to use the data, right? So the data is only as good as you use it. Like no matter how good my data is, if you send a shitty postcard or you have a bunch of cold callers who have no clue what to do, you're not going to get much.
Yeah.
Right. So understanding that and supporting that journey. And that's why we work on a collaboration basis. It's not just feeding our model to train and get better, but it's also a collaboration of understanding what you're doing with the marketing and how to improve and enhance that consistently to get better and better results.
So if you're tuning in right now, you're on social media and you're like, what is going on? CG has a live stream going. This is, I think, our third so far we're live from our CG Select and Elevate event in Sarasota. I have my good friend Jesús Toledo with 80/20, South Florida native, but nationwide data provider. And you just mentioned that you're not just selling data to people. You're customizing predictive data to them to get to their core audience. You have been working on that for a very long time, and it was just a natural progression for you to offer other services. Like I now have data, I can help you with mail, right? I have data, and maybe you don't have good follow-up, so I have a CRM for that as well. And let's say you don't have people to handle those leads that are coming in, we also help you hire. So tell me how that all came about and how it's now almost full service.
Yeah, like you said, you're a connector. I'm a collaborator at heart. My PI profile is actually a collaborator. So a lot of these are actually from clients. Like DM Force is a partnership with one of our very first clients that we had, right? They're the largest home buyer in San Diego, and we were discussing on how to enhance direct mail, and they were on a path. We were on a path and say, hey, I don't want to compete with you. Let's maybe collaborate and build this together, right? And that's how we did it. The same with the CRM. CRM was a client of ours, and he showed what he built. He said, dude, I love what you built. I would love to be a part of this. Is there any chance if you take this to market, I would love to be a part of it. So I've been very fortunate through some relationships that I built here in CG, through some friendships, like the 80/20 Recruits is actually a a childhood friend of mine. Like I know him for many, many years. And we saw the opportunity because our team is remote. We got a lot of questions. Hey, how do you hire remote? How do you retain talent? And it's every week when we're getting these requests. I don't have bandwidth to run another business.
Sure.
So I went in and tapped to my network. Hey, I have this friend. He's really good at this. Let's bring him over and open this opportunity. So it's a power connection, right?
Yeah.
And you guys talk about it all the time. Like here in ZG, you are one connection away from getting what you're looking for, right? It's really that simple. There is somebody in this room that have done that problem, or multiple people in this room that have solved that problem. And I feel that that's kind of a mantra for my life, is trying to find who's the best person for this instead of me trying to figure out everything.
There's so many ways to build a business, to build multiple businesses with collaboration of relationships that you make, not only in this room, but just in communities in general. But it warms my heart when I hear, members collaborating, because there's so many people that are still fearful of competition. We're always collab over competition for sure. And not to say that there's, not healthy competition. It drives us all to be better. But there's so many stories like what you just mentioned there. You're here at CG Select, and you made a great point. No matter the 4 tiers that we have, CEO, Premier, Select, Elevate, you're one of those people that say, I can learn in any room that I'm in. Today, we're over, almost done with this day 1 of 3. Any takeaways so far, any connections, any conversations that stand out?
Absolutely. Brand's presentation was great. Like it touched me. I'm very fortunate to be happily married, but we go through ups and downs like most people do. And he was very vulnerable and shared his journey, and that really resonated with me. Like not trading your success or your attempt at success or the relationship that are most important in your life. So I really commended him for what he shared, and it's a reminder of what's important, right? Like we all see in social media all the flashy things, and we can all know who is flashing, but there's the relationships, your family, your spouse is probably the most important thing that you have in your life, and nobody talks about that very often. Right? Nobody flashes about how good their marriage is, or very few people. I don't know. And that's probably the foundation of everything. And he was sharing that resonated with me a lot.
Yeah. So Mr. Ren Bartlett did a presentation today to start us off on mindset, and was very vulnerable. We always say in this community that the power of this community is when you're honest. Power of this community is when you're vulnerable. And Ren was definitely vulnerable today. We'll try to get him on the pod tomorrow to speak about that presentation. It was powerful. Standing ovation for that presentation.
We don't get many of those.
That was the very first presentation to lead us off today. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you. You mentioned your partnership with your wife, right? There are very few partnerships that I run into at any level that just feel right, that are great partnerships. There's some, but there's only a few that stand out where like those two were meant to be partners in business, and it just works really, really well. Like for those that are listening that have a partner or considering a partner, how did you and Felipe find each other, and how do you guys work so well together?
Yeah, it's it's funny. I grew up in Brazil. So when I was 15, I moved to Chile. I was originally from Chile, so I moved back to Chile, and we went to the same school. And my brother, who's 2 years younger than me, was best friends with Felipe. So Felipe was always hanging around in the house. So I saw him. I was like his big brother, kind of. And we met again here in the United States. Like we never lost touch, but we stayed in touch. And he came to Miami as well. Actually, he came before than I did. And here we were transitioning. He was transitioning from a travel agency. I was transitioning from e-commerce that I had, and we started looking at things we wanted to do and say, hey, dude, like we complement each other really well. He's really good at sales. I'm more system, process, data. Let's try to figure out something together. And we ended up going to a RIA meeting.
Sure.
And say, this is it. Let's do it. And that's how we started. So we had a shared background, right? Larry Yachts, which has presented here many times, he talks about having a shared background of experience to create a connection between people. And we had that. So we had that. We had years and years of knowing each other. And when we went to business, we already knew what to expect from one another. And I think that's one of the keys on any relationship is expectations. If we have clear expectations, we all commit to fulfill that expectation from each other, and communication, that's key. So I think that has been the key for us. Like, we kind of knew each other so well that the expectation was set. We honor our parts and we communicate a lot. Like, there's not much more than that, but it's a friendship that now has evolved, and we continue to be very close friends, and we're very fortunate to still be in business together because, like, the divorce in businesses are a thing.
Very much so. If we see anything that unfortunately forces people out of the community, it's a business partnership split. And that's why I asked the question is, you guys are equally aligned, clear expectations, as you mentioned, and you both have strengths that are the other's weakness, right? And you complement each other so well. You've been in this community for a while. If someone's listening to this and they're saying, hey, I've never been in a mastermind before, or I've been in it before and I don't want to go to another one, what would you say to that person that might be on the fence?
So you've never been to a mastermind?
Or just in general?
I'll give you both,
okay,
because I think there's a different perspectives, and I really believe if you've never been, this will spoil you. It will ruin your mastermind experience because it's going to be the best one, and you should definitely join. There's so much power of meeting people who either are ahead of where you are or in that journey with you, and that's incredibly powerful. If you've been to another, I've been to several. This is the best. Like, it just is the quality of the events, the quality of the members. If you're trying to grow a real estate related business, I am very confident to say that this is the best. The organization is phenomenal. The members are great. And there's no incentive for me. I just really love what CG represents.
I appreciate you saying that. And thanks for your time. I know we are missing a really good presentation right now. And we will be able to watch that later. But I'm going to let you go so we can both watch the final presentation of the day. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it as always, my man.
Anytime we do is amazing.
I could say the same thing and wish we had a little bit more time here. But I will say this. This group is more than just business relationships. Jesus and my family have built houses in Mexico together as part of our Generous Genius. My sons got to play with his sons. It's just the connection that you get is beyond this room. Is beyond the phone calls, beyond the text. Those type of experiences I will cherish forever, getting to know your family and look forward to those trips. Again, I know you guys are going back in June.
Going now in June again, yeah.
Oh, next month.
Yeah,
it is.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I won't be able to go on this one, but we are going to go on another one with you in the very near future, giving back with other members, with their families. It's just a special bond.
Bro, I completely missed that. Like that's my favorite part of CG. It's playing basketball in the morning. I mean, they now have pickleball, which I enjoy too, but I prefer basketball. And the giving back, like CG was that inspired us. We do an annual travel to build a house. It's inspired by CG, right? So I don't know.
Generous Genius paying it forward.
It's just much more than just building the business and building friendships and businesses. You also learn to give back, and I'm very grateful to.
Very cool.
Being allowed to be in this group.
Yeah, special. Very special. I know that it's team building for him and his team as well. And we've had several members that have taken their teams down to Ensenada to build homes with Scott Myers and his team. Just a very special time for all of us. If you would like to be in the room with members, great members like Jesus and Felipe, again, the best way to go about doing that is go to our website, thecollectivegenius.com. You can fill out an application there. If you're a full-time real estate investor, we want to have a conversation with you. If it's the right fit, great. If it's not, that's okay too. I think that usually if you can give value, we can bring value, and it's usually a good fit. So we will be back tomorrow with more live CG podcasts. If you want to go back and watch the 11th episode, we dropped our 11th episode today. Very cool. Been waiting to drop the podcast for a while. It is now dropped. You can find that at thecgpodcast.com. You can find it on YouTube or any of the places that you find your podcast. Please, if you like it, do us a favor, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We've been very blessed to have some very good comments and been hearing a lot from our members here today that have been listening. So we look forward to seeing you on the next live one. We'll see you tomorrow.
Are you ready to scale your real estate business? Visit thecollectivegenius.com, where real estate investors come to scale. Subscribe to the Collective Genius podcast and hit the bell icon to be notified when our next episode releases. And thanks for listening.